Hello everyone, welcome to Browser's Developer User Group, and this is video number 20 in the Descriptive Statistics series. Today we are going to talk about regression plots using Lmplot and Regplot. For this, we have to import the Seaborn library and the Matplotlib library. Of course, we have to import pandas and NumPy as well. We are going to use the Seaborn tips dataset. You see the URL to get it on the screen. Basically, it says the total bill, the tip amount, the gender, the smoker, yes or no, the day of the week, time, dinner or lunch, and the number of people in the table. Then we are going to check the shape. We have 244 rows and 7 columns. And then we are going to start playing with Lmplot. We are going to plot a total bill and tip. Basically, it shows the relationship between both across a line. You see, there are some outliers on the top, some layers below the line. But what about if we want to use or show another relationship in the same chart? So in this case, we are going to use a smoker with the parameter hue. We can see the smoker yes or no, and the line that the regression line across those variables. So we can see the yellow line yes, and the blue line no, and you can see the relationship between both. But what about if we want to change the markers? So instead of the colors, we want to change a smoker as an X, you can see it here, and no smoker as a blue dot, you can see it here. It's basically the same we saw above, but changing the markers. That's basically it. But what about if we want to change the color palette? In this case, we are using the palette parameter with set1. And here we are showing the same chart from above, but with two different colors, red and blue. Red is no, blue is yes, smoker. We can also map the hue levels to colors with dictionary. You can see it here. So a smoker is black, no smoker is black, and a smoker is red. And that we do it with the parameter palette equals dictionary, yes equals R, no equals K. And that's basically it. And then what about if we want to see the relationship between the size of the table, the number of people, and the tip? So here we can see that when there are 4 people on the table, apparently the tip is bigger. The tip amount is bigger, as you can see here. What about if we want to use some jitter? So with the parameter xjitter equals 0.2, we can see each individual data point here. Then let's plot the levels of a tier variable across different columns. Okay, so here we can see a smoker yes or no, but this time is in different charts. Okay, and you see that the linear regression is different. Let's do the same with the column day. Now let's do the same with the column day, as you can see here. So it's another parameter, and we can see that now we have 4 different charts because this restaurant opens on Sunday, Saturday, Tuesday, and Friday apparently. And then we got a linear regression for each one based on the total bill and the tip. Okay, got it? What about if we wrap the levels of the column variable into multiple rows? So we have this error here, the exchange, and then we have it. Now we have 2 rows, 2 columns with the same charts that we saw above. That's just presentation parameters for you to be able to read it better. What about if we use 2 variables to make a full grid? So we have to remove once again this because the SDK has changed in the past months. And there we have it. We have a smoker no and time dinner, a smoker no and time lunch, a smoker yes and time dinner, a smoker yes and time lunch. And then you can see the linear regression is more correlated here with a smoker no time dinner. You can see that the data points are closer to the line than in the other examples like this one where there are many outliers and probably there is not relationship whatsoever. What about if we add X and A labels and limits? So I'm gonna remove this once again and then we can see the chart. So we have a smoker, the tip here, a smoker here, total bill here, and this is our just labels as we saw. But there is another function and that's the regplot. So regplot is just another type of regression plot. The main difference between regplot and Lmplot is the figure level function and regplot in axis level function. And another difference is it accepts data frames, pandas data frames in order to make the chart. So here we are going to use again the tip and the total bill, and this time we are using regplot. As you can see in this second example of regplot, we are now using pandas data frames. It's a different type as we saw in Lmplot, but the result is basically the same. Then we are going to do the same with jitter 0.1 as we saw in one of our previous examples. So we are using sns.regplot with the color blue, the jitter 0.1, and on the y-axis we have the total bill, and in the x-axis we have the size. What about if we want to plot with a continuous variable divided into discrete bins? So we use this regplot x and y, then we have the data, the color, and the number of bins. This basically says that where the total bill is 26, we have bigger tip. We have the center and we have the quartile, let's say it like this. What about if we want to fit that regression model with using logarithm? So if we want to use logarithm, you can see that there is a clean relationship between the number of persons in a table and the total bill. That's obvious, right? And then we have, what about if we add a new column? We want to know if the tip is big or not, and that's based on a small calculation. So if the tip is greater than 17.5%, we consider it big. If it's lower, we consider it a small tip. So we have true, false for each row. And then at the end, we use regplot in order to show whether the tip is big or not based on the total tip. And here we have it. So based on the bill, on the total bill here, we have some as being a big tip and some as being a small tip. As you can see, apparently there is no relation whatsoever between the total bill and the big tip. I hope you like this video. I hope you find it informative and you learned something. If something isn't clear, just comment on the YouTube video and see you in the next one.